During pandemic, what happened that made you think that I need to now go and seek professional help? What was the trigger for you?
I got divorced.
So you think sometimes parting is a good thing and that would
Frankly,
actually
most of
help
the time, parting is necessary when it comes.
So have you gone back to any your first wife or your second wife, apologized and realized?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I came from a very orthodox, upper class Hindu, extremely violent and aggressive family. There was alcohol involved, and then it became into physical sort of violence towards women, towards children.
Where we speak heart to heart and hold space for each other. Welcome to the Mehak Ankar Show. Today we have somebody very special with us, someone I met for the first time many years ago and instantly felt how calm he is. You've seen him act, you've seen him directing people on stage, you've seen him coaching people, you've seen him travel the world, a name which is synonymous with theatre and performing arts. I have Atul Kumar with me on this show. A very warm welcome to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, Atul, as you know, that on this show, we do talk about stuff where, we don't want to sensationalize things. We want to talk about real stuff. We want to talk about your inner journey as well as outer journey, the things that you've learned on the way.
Sure.
So, if I ask you, if you had to strip away all your achievements, your success, your accolades, everything else, who is Atul? How would you describe that?
Oh my God. It's a question which recently one faced when COVID hit, frankly, because we all were in our little shells and we went inwards and we were asking ourselves who we are and what have we done and what have we achieved, what is the world around us, people around us. And I discovered psychotherapy for the first time, I think, and that's what helped me really answer this question for myself. A very, very vulnerable human being, very, very insecure person, a person who runs away basically from everything that is positive, loving, caring, somebody who has had a lot of trouble accepting all this when one has been given all this. So all these are the things that came up during pandemic, during my psychotherapy sessions. So if you do take away all the luster around and all the noise of theatre and film and friends and family and everything, then this is the person I'm discovering who I am. And it's very sad that I'm discovering it at this age when this was about 4 years back in 21, I think. So yeah. So 4 years back, I was about 50 to 53 years old. So it's a bit too late in life, yes, but there were these realizations. I think that reality is something I lived all my life, but the realization happened only now. So I'm not, yeah.
I had this conversation planned in a very different way.
There you go. I jumped in the deep end right away.
I would not want to waste this opportunity, but ask you. So during pandemic, what happened that made you think that I need to now go and seek professional help? What was the trigger for you?
I got divorced. My ex-wife, frankly, my second ex-wife. So she decided to part ways. And my daughter, I think, was at that time only 4 or 5 years old with her. And it's something that came as a shock to me. And but what did happen was that for the first time in my life, and she's been a colleague. She's made theatre with me. She's been a friend for a very long time. And she discovered psychotherapy first, and she suggested that I also go through therapy. Now it's something that one has always shunned and kept away from all my life, thinking that we're all very well-read people. We've read, Jung and Freud and what have you, and we know more than these therapists, or we've dealt with millions of characters and millions of scripts, so we know a lot more about ourselves. But little did I know that I knew nothing about myself.
So that was the trigger point.
Yes, that was the trigger. So she helped me discover psychotherapy. And that sort of rupture in my personal life made me even more vulnerable and emotional. And I think my heart just opened and allowed voices to be heard from inside.
And it's very interesting that we have a man talking about therapy on the show. Not many men would actually admit they need a therapist in the first place.
No, it's absolutely. I think I'm still under therapy, and I think I will keep it going. I might change therapists, but I will definitely keep it going till my last days. And I think it should be made compulsory for everyone. It's health, it's mental health. It's something everybody. It should be introduced in schools.
I absolutely
in
agree.
colleges.
I think schools do have it.
They
nowadays,
don't actually,
but
they
not
have,
in the real sense.
yeah, they don't.
Not,
They have a counselor.
they have a
Yeah,
counselor.
one counselor, two max. The entire school of 800 students.
Yeah.
No, not really. I think it should be made compulsory.
I think artists are always, more sensitive towards so many things in society. They are the first ones to be sensitized because they have to feel so many emotions. Like when you prepare for something, you write something, when, you're directing something or you're working with another actor on a particular performance. So you have to go through a lot of emotions. But as you said, that introspection doesn't really happen. It's like outside work that you're doing.
Yes.
And you started your inside work.
Yes. Yes, at least for me, that's what happened. There were things like, we were taught things like, a great human being will make a great artist. A great artist is always that person who's vulnerable, who's sensitive, who's compassionate, but I don't think that was completely true or is true. I don't think so. I think they're two different things, and one has to really continuously do internal work. However, it might be true that if one does do internal work and is in touch with one's inner self more truthfully, that there will be much more truth in the art that you create, and that might, travel much more. Yes. So now that you've brought me in this chair and you're talking to me and you spoke so beautifully and highly of me in my introduction, and I was thinking, here we are, very soon we are going to dive into this part of our conversation where I personally feel that I've achieved nothing. I really have. I wish this journey that I have just started on in the last 3 years happened to me 20 years back, 25 years back, and I possibly would have been able to dive into my art in a very different way.
So, very interesting point that you have mentioned here. We are actually off all the questions that we had made for this interview and going to some interesting parts of Atul's life right here on the show. Atul, so now you said that, you wish something like this had happened to you 20 years back. So one thing that you could have changed other than therapy, how would you change your life if given a chance, go back 20 years? What would you change?
It's to have more empathy, frankly. It's to be a lot more calmer and to be a lot more compassionate. Just to be able to listen more to other people. Of course, all these things are combined. Yeah, they're attached to why I didn't do it, because I am in such a way, or how my past was, and all that. It's all linked up with those things that happen. Those things I can't change, but I know this is one thing I wish I was more accepting and tolerant of the world around me, because I was in such a way to save myself, to just survive, to be able to just find my own identity. I didn't care about anyone or anything. I just went for wherever I found my identity, and in this case it was theater and acting, and fortunately it worked out for me, and there was no stopping me, and I just kept going.
So you were lucky in a way as well.
I was very lucky. Many people who are not lucky in anything they do, and they are also going through what I was going through, and they have it really bad. So, but I don't know who has it really bad. Is it them or is it me? Because on my way of this journey, I must admit that I did hurt. I did bring a lot of sadness to a lot of people around me. And no wonder that is why a wonderful person like my ex-wife, she decided that maybe the best thing to happen to all of us, me, her, our child, is that she parts. And it's true. And it was a fact that it was a wonderful thing that we parted. Because now she's happy, because of which my child is happy. I'm finding new things about myself. And I think these are wonderful opportunities.
But very painful as well.
Yes,
you go through it.
But needed. Now imagine if it hadn't been that way, how much more painful it would have been for all of us.
So you think sometimes parting is a good thing and that would
Frankly,
actually
most of
help?
the time, parting is necessary when it comes. It is the only thing that should happen. And in our society or anywhere in the world, I think things like parting, divorces should be normalized. I mean, it's such a taboo in our lives, It is, आप जैसे भी हो, आपके घर वाले हैं, घर वाली हैं, family है, निभाओ किसी तरह से. Those are, I think, archaic ideas now. I think there's much merit in realizing that when the time comes, one should be able to move on.
And, find the new identity that is
just find yourself to begin with, and find that inner peace, inner calm, or find those things that made these ruptures happen.
It's so beautifully said. I think a lot of people would agree with what Atul is sharing today. Very few men talk about it so openly, and I'm so happy that you're doing it. I remember when we spoke on the phone the other day, I sent the concept note to you when you said that, okay, I love it. And, Mehak, you don't have to worry. I will be there. I have so much to share. I didn't know that. All these things I'm getting to know, now. And
I'm not the only one. I'm very sure there are hundreds and thousands of men. Yeah, they don't talk much.
Yeah.
I know many men of my age group, from my generation, my peers, my colleagues, who find it difficult to be able to come to terms with similar things,
situations,
in their lives, and to be able to articulate them or to address them. I'm not saying that I have achieved anything in these 4 years. These are just realizations and a beginning of a new journey. So the work is hard and there is a lot of work to be done.
I'm sure in the times to come, we'll be working more on it. And maybe, the next time we meet, there'll be something very different Atul that we will be meeting.
If I'm around, yes.
Where are you going to go? We are not letting you go anywhere. We all need you.
Just yesterday, 3 days back, I was talking to a very dear friend of mine, and on my laptop, I just said, let's find out the average age of a man in middle class Bombay today, And it said 70.
70.
70, that's the average age. And I said, okay, I mean, I might live for 150 years. I might, conk off tomorrow, who knows. But one can safely say 70. That gives me just, 10 years? And I said, I have no reason to be not happy or wake up every morning and say, today is a beautiful day. I have only 10 years left. So, yeah.
God, this is making me quite sorrowful at this point of time. I didn't think I want to, I don't want to think about that right now. But yeah, it's a shocking revelation. I didn't know
I think
that's
it's a beautiful revelation. I think everybody, I think to be in touch with everything is important.
Yeah. So if we have a very short life, maybe if you just have another 10 years, let's just say that and go with it. So what is it that you want in those 10 years?
Just this, if I'm able to extend the good being in myself to everybody who's around me, and starting with people who love me the most, because they are the ones I have hurt the most, frankly, I think that would be an achievement. I can put all art or, artists and the work that I do aside. If I can just bring that connect back again with people who are close to me, starting with my daughters, my colleagues, my friends, who love me, my ex-wives, my family, my brother, if I can just bring
those together back.
Yes, I'm not saying that all this is ruptured.
So have you?
It's all there, but just to bring my real true self, which is compassionate and which is full of empathy to these people in these 10 years, I think I'll be happy that I've achieved it.
So have you gone back to any, your first wife or your second wife, apologized to them after your therapy session?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, of course. And a lot of talk has happened.
And how did they respond to it?
So we'll talk about the more recent one. And this was about 3 years back. And there is a recognition, there's something called, there was absolutely no idea of what this healthy boundary is that one has to create between people you most love and have relationships with. So there is recognition of the fact there has been a cognitive process, and now you know that this is happening, that you're aware. But we are also aware that this is just the beginning of the work. that has to start. I mean, it's not like suddenly life has changed now and everything is happy. Now, how will the life turn out to be? How will you be with everyone, with your kids, with them, with your work, with everyone who's around you? For time to tell.
So you spoke about relationships, and relationships have evolved or maybe accepted in so many different ways in today's society. Like earlier, it used to be, just maybe, I'm talking about between a man and a woman. They would get married, and that is how a relationship would be. But then different types of relationships have existed over the years without being recognized in the society. There is more acceptance. Some are recognized, some are still getting a little acceptance. What is your take on that? What, according to you, are healthy boundaries or no boundaries, or should there be any?
I think when it comes to the different kinds of relationships, I don't think there should be any boundaries at all. Absolutely boundary, whether it comes to, especially in our country, there are so many divides, right? And it could be class, it could be caste, it could be religion, it could be sexuality, it could be gender, it could be so many different things. So I think freedom knows no boundaries. So that firstly should be opened up completely. And an individual has to be seen as an individual. And two individuals or more who need to be together in a relationship should be completely freely allowed and
accepted
and enjoyed,
celebrated,
yeah. And especially where the world has come to. Everyone thought we would have wisened up after we were nearly wiped off in the recent pandemic, and look what we are doing to this world soon after that. Look at what is happening around the world. Yeah, we're murdering kids. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of world we are creating. So in this world where all that is happening, just imagine if this freedom would be a sane thing to do. Yeah.
And I think very interestingly, even in any relationship, 2 or 3 or more individuals could be going through different phases in life. As you said, that 1, 2 more people or more than that should be accepted, celebrated, whatever is their choice and comfort and love language. And because each, as human beings, we go through our life journeys, but we are also traveling with somebody in a relationship. So that's a very interesting thing that you said today on the show, that it should be celebrated. Not many people still do that.
I'm 57 years old now today, and I think I've already seen a lot of changes, and the changes now in the recent past. I have a daughter who's 19, who's been on such talk shows already and speaks her mind with her mom. Used to intern with this wonderful organization called Yuva, and who discuss these things, and her worldview is very different from even what we are talking about, right? Or how I was, let's say, 20 years back or 40 years back. So it's also accelerating. It's changing very fast. So God only knows. I mean, when you said, how will you be 10 years from now? God only knows what changes will happen in the next 5. So that again is something that one has to be very aware of, open to, and ready to change. So I'm given to my daughters. My younger one is 8 years old, and she's constantly teaching me, and she's constantly asking me questions which make me go internally, asking myself those questions. So I think, it's just about letting your inquiry be alive constantly.
So if I want you to dig into one of your happy memories of your early days when you started working or exploring the world, or maybe your first travel, like there are some pockets of memories that make us very happy, like the glimmer, as they call it. So what are a few glimmers that you have?
Okay, since we've been talking of the things we've been talking of, I think one was definitely the 2 things that come to my mind. One is, of course, the very, very first time when this young boy from Old Delhi was recognized. So it was back in school when I was recognized while doing a play. There were hundreds of people who got up and applauded, and I think that was, the beginning of something that was other than a past that I was running away from. And there were people, there was a big hall full of people who were recognizing what I was doing on stage. So it was quite emotional. It was like as if seeing a new world. And the second thing really has been to run away from spaces. Is and thereby traveling. So very quickly, I think I realized in my life that one thing that I really cherished and enjoyed was traveling and meeting new people, people with whom my past or the so-called ghosts were not attached with, so completely new people. And it was as if breathing anew with every new acquaintance in a new country, in a new culture, and with a new language. और उसके रहते मैंने फ्रांसीसी भाषा भी सीख ली, तो फिर फ्रांस में पढ़ाई की, वहाँ गए. So yeah, travel, I would say, was the other high that I felt in my life. I still do. I still enjoy traveling a lot and setting out, not knowing where I'm going, who I will meet. All that is hugely enjoyable.
So when you found yourself stuck in a situation, like maybe writing a scene or trying to work with a difficult actor or emote a certain emotion, do you have like any interesting, weird stuff that you did to come out of it or maneuver around that situation? Something, some people do. Like I pace up and down and I talk very loudly, or, I just cry sometimes and then I get back to work and I feel calmer in work, can focus. Like, do you have any strategies like that you've used?
So there are many different strategies because there are many different styles of theatre and theatre training. So there are a huge number of skill sets where if an actor is feeling stuck with the voice or with the body or with a particular emotion or with a particular moment in a scene in a story, because now also theatre is in different forms, right? It could just be their body in space. Then you could do certain exercises to break that sort of block. If it is voice, it could be something. If it is emotional, it could be something else. So there are many things, many ways of
What's
breaking
your favorite?
into.
If you're stuck somewhere, then instantly if you do that, you'll feel much better.
I can't really say because I don't know what situation it'll be. Again, whether it's physical, emotional, whether it's between two actors, it's an actor and an object. It could be many different things.
Any incident that you remember?
It is very psychological, of course. It's always very psychological. And since you did mention you would cry and walk up and down. Now that, let's say if we've combined that, would become an exercise. If I was to allow you to extend yourself physically to the limit of feeling physically tired. So I would make you do an exercise like that, which will then automatically turn psychosomatic and you would start crying. If crying is or that breath pattern is what you need to arrive at to be able to break that block, then I would like to bring you through that channel to break that breath pattern and thereby the character. It could be something else or who knows what else.
Any incident you remember you were stuck, maybe any of the plays that you do, as an actor, as a director, as a, anywhere in life that you can remember that comes to you where you think you were stuck and then what did you do? Like, maybe something during Pia Behrupia production or with a particular actor.
See, when you're asking me this, the problem is that this is every moment in a rehearsal. Because as a director, I don't have any fixed ideas of what I'm going to do in a rehearsal on a certain day. Which means that everybody comes on the floor completely blank, not knowing. Literally not knowing. Many times my actors would say, so tell me, what am I supposed to do? And my reply to them very often is, I don't know. Let's try and explore this together. Let's find out together. And we might fail today, the whole day. Tomorrow may be another day and something might come out there. So this thing of breaking when you're stuck, that mold, is to come at it from various different points of view is happening all the time in the rehearsals. So there's never been like a very dramatic... I think I know what you're asking. Some directors do have these tricks up their sleeve where they will, for example, my director as an actor. This is my very, very initial director when I was doing theatre in Delhi. His name is K. Madhavan. And he had worked with a wonderful director called Ariane Mushkin in France. And his trick would be literally this, to go very personal with actors. I don't agree with it now at all, but he would go very, very personal, as in outside the character and the story and the work, but he would actually start tormenting them on a very personal level till the actor would break down emotionally and start crying, and then he would say, now quickly jump into that character that you were playing. Now, it used to work. There's no doubt about it. I don't agree with that way of working myself these days, but today, but there you go. So that there are many other ways of doing it rather than getting personal, but yeah, but that is that is always the way of because it's psychological. All states are psychological, on even the physical state. I mean, it's also back and forth, psychology into physical, into a gesture, and then into gesture into your body, into psychology, and then what you say, how you are, what you're being. It's all a nice gameplay of things.
And it's lovely to see your emotion change from the topic we were talking about earlier
I
and
can
now.
see me
And
feeling more passionate.
oh, no, I can feel the passion both ways. Even, in that, emotion, when we were talking about it, the passion was different. And now the passion is, of course, a little the stage grandeur passion. And that is the difference. Do you have people come up to you and told you that, Atul, we feel that you create a wall around you. It's very difficult to kind of strike a conversation with you sometimes?
All the time. All the time. All the time. Because that's what I was telling you about. I think that wall sort of got ruptured now, just 4 years back. I think 54 years of my life, I just had a wall around me.
Was that to safeguard yourself of
Yes.
any? What? So I'm going to say a sentence and you complete that for me. So you created that wall around yourself to?
Protect myself.
From
Everything and everyone, because I was unsure about love, compassion, closeness, because these are the things that were taken away from me as a child. And I was not aware of all this. I mean, I knew throughout what happened to me as a child, but it's only now when I was 54 and I went through therapy that these things were brought to forth for me to realize that the way I have conducted my life all these years, using theater as my shield, and I close myself inside those walls, was because of my childhood. So it was just basically trying to protect myself.
So you knew this all this while, but you thought about it just recently.
I mean, I knew what happened to I had a very violent childhood.
Do you want to
share? Yeah. Very, very violent childhood. But what it did to me was not something that I had access to. I was just living my life. And in that process, these walls got created around me. And these walls exist, I realized only now when I went through therapy. Extremely violent childhood. I came from a very orthodox, upper class Hindu, merchant class family from Old Delhi. Extremely violent and aggressive family, the whole of it. Like many brothers and sisters, my uncles and aunt, my grandmother, grandfather.
You stayed in a joint family?
Yes, I did. Yes. And I think there was alcohol involved, and then it became into physical sort of violence towards women, towards children. So there was not just violence that was inflicted on me physically, but also I saw a lot of it happening to people in my family, old people or women in my family. So it's nothing new. Frankly, I can speak to you about this nearly nonchalantly right now because, one, I've spoken about it far too much now, especially in my therapy. Secondly, I'm also realizing that it was happening everywhere. It was happening all around. To tell you the truth, it's happening even today in most parts of the world, especially in lesser educated families or communities. These things happen, and people have to survive these things.
But I would say it has nothing to do with education. I've seen people with highly educated families and people, and similar things are still going on. People don't want to talk about it because it's a taboo, as divorce is a taboo, as having multiple relationships is a taboo, as having a gender choice in your relationship is a taboo. So is this. So when you were growing up, it was a violent environment at home, and then you thought that, if I could use the word, running away from the entire...
It was running away from all that. It was exactly that. And fortunately, unfortunately, very quickly in my life, while I was running away, I was finding a way to run away, frankly, and I found theatre. And it worked. Theatre immediately sort of helped me create those walls around me. So you could say the theatre happened to me not out of some artistic pursuit, but it was just to be able to protect myself. And come to think, everybody in my family is a businessman. They sell dry fruits, pickles, spices in those hardcore markets of Old Delhi. I would have been a lala sitting at a shop selling all that.
You would have looked nice as a lala.
Well, there you go. So Yeah, I ran away from all of that. And in the process, I ran away from my family. I abandoned even the people who were docile, who protected me, who loved me in my family, but I just ran away from them. I abandoned them. I wanted nothing to do with that.
Because you thought that you were not enough to protect.
I was not enough to protect. I was not enough to stand against that violence. I could not. I felt ashamed. I felt inapt. And that is probably why throughout, whenever there was love, I didn't know how to deal with it. Whenever love came my way.
You didn't recognize it.
Oh, I did recognize it, but I didn't know what to do with it. And I had no way to even accept love from someone. So I had a marriage which broke, and I have a beautiful daughter from that marriage, who was 19 years old. Then I married again, and again that broke, which I just told you about. I have a beautiful daughter who's 8 years old. I have some beautiful friends, but whenever they did love me, I didn't know how to receive it. I have 2 daughters, and frankly, my older daughter loved me a lot, and I didn't know how to receive that either. Thankfully, therapy happened by the time this little one was growing, so things are very different now with her.
So the elder one must be feeling that she didn't get what the younger one is getting now?
That's true. That's completely true. Just 4 days back, she actually mentioned this, and she brought me to notice that you did this, you said that, and that is because you are now aware of that you did not do this or did not do that or did this and did not
Or when
do that.
I did something, you responded like, not how you should have.
No, she remembered her past, and she said, you were not the same with me, were you? And I said, Noor, you're absolutely right. And there's no running away from it. But here I am, and I'm willing to take responsibility. And what is more, it doesn't stop there. I'm willing to work on it for whatever remaining days I have with you. Do you want to talk about something?
I will.
No, I'm not talking about the camera. I'm talking about me. Do you want to tell me something? What are you emotional about?
Oh yeah, I do feel very deeply about stuff, so I just get a little emotional sometimes. Just give me a second.
So Atul, tell me, you said that, you didn't know how to receive love and didn't know what to do with it. कोई ऐसा दोस्त है, any friend who's really tolerated you all your life and is still very thick friends with you?
Yeah. There's a wonderful lady in Bangalore. Her name is Nimmi Ravindran. She used to run India Today long time back. She used to be a journalist. Then we met at a theatre workshop, and she became friends since. She lives in Bangalore. She is now part of a very, very wonderful organization called Sandbox Collective. They work with gender. And she herself has become a wonderful artist now. And she's been my backbone. She's been my biggest supporter. And my critic. And she's always checked me. She understands me very closely. She's also suffered most of my abandonment of her. As I told you that I would shun people who would love me. So, but she's someone who has stood by me.
She's understood, she had the patience, and she looked at...
She's just a very large person. I think at times I do become overwhelming, so then she keeps her distance, but she's there, I know. And
whenever you need her, she's there.
We are constantly in touch, but I know times when she's taking her time and distance because I've been a complete jerk. Other times, yeah, she's there. She's there. So she's the one.
Yeah. And so speaking about friendships, it's so amazing the way friendships have changed over the years, the way we maintain relationships. Earlier days, we would catch up, go somewhere, hang out, watch movies as growing up. Then, we find partners, dating somebody, we grow apart from our friends. Then comes a stage in life where we go back to our friends. And, and it's very interesting. And then they stay, and then they understand each other, like you said, in your case, your friends. Did you always have like a big group of friends when you joined theatre? Were you like a happy-go-lucky, happy camper who enjoyed like large groups and now you enjoy more solitude, or is it the opposite?
When you're doing theater, you really can't be away from large groups for a very long time. And because we do a lot of theater, a lot of different plays, I have some like 10 different families I'm a part of, in a way you can say. Some of them are very professional, so they would just come and work and go their individual ways. But most of them are like these mini joint families, and there's much fun and frolic. My last play that I directed is called Bagi Albele. It was done in Punjabi and Hindi. So I cast like there are some 15 Punjabis in that family. So you can imagine we enjoy meeting and rehearsing much more than we actually enjoy doing the play. So yeah, it's full of happiness and cheer and joy with each one of these. So there is all that. And then of course, some of these people do sort of filter into your personal life. So you're also having those get together. So life is full of people. I love that.
What is the most crazy thing, maddest thing you've done with some of your friends, or maybe one or two friends?
60 people in a Bombay flat, like a 12, 13, 14 hour long party, so that's one. With Piya Berupiya, the play that you were mentioning earlier, that is another family that I have, and very proud of it, that we maintained the same group for 12 years, and everybody, I mean, we fought and we disagreed, we did this, that and the other, but we all still, like, we were together even till the last show that we did. And we traveled all over the world, and we had some really crazy experiences with that particular family, that group of friends. So
like somebody left behind. So how many people were there in Piya Berupiya?
15 altogether.
Wow, that's a big group to travel with.
Yes.
So any funny stories, anything that you remember while traveling with them? Maybe the promoters, like I was one of the promoters and you came to Singapore.
Yes, that's true.
That's Trivial Disasters. And
yes.
It was a very interesting experience for me. So I'll share that, the set was very different for Trivial Disasters. It had carton boxes. Now in India, we get carton boxes. So Atul calls me and tells me this is the set. So we agreed on everything, whatever, all the other logistics. And then they were like, cartons chahiye. I'm like, Singapore mein cartons mein kahan se leke aao?
Well, how did we manage?
I bought cartons. Like in India, you can go to like 10 dukaan and get cartons. So, you can get it made, cardboard boxes, this and that. But in Singapore, it's so lean now, everything. Yeah. And then I was like, oh my God, this is out of syllabus for us in Singapore.
But we did manage, I think. Yeah.
We did. We got a lot of cartons. I didn't know what to do with it later.
We performed in a bullfighting ring in South America, in Chile. The entire town, Antofagasta, I think that was the name of the town, Antofagasta, the entire town came to see the show.
Oh my God.
In a bullfighting ring. So there were like I don't know how many thousands and thousands of people were
there.
Did
they know it was a play?
Yes, they did. They had placed these massive LED screens like in a rock show. And we were taken in a bus to enter the stage. So yeah, it was overwhelming when actors came out and they saw the whole bloody ring full of people. It was very overwhelming. They all broke down and then we performed. That was one of the most amazing experiences we had.
So it was like full filmy experience there, like how you would see a concert happening.
Yeah, it was still our play, Piya Berupiya. It was just the scale of it was very overwhelming.
I'm sure, because in theatre you don't see that kind of crowd.
Absolutely not.
No matter where you go.
Yeah, so it was very wonderful.
How cool is that? Okay, so I think it's been really amazing talking to Atul. You've been very open about so many things.
Thank you.
There have been glimmers, there have been triggers in the show today. So as we come towards the closure, I want to hear from you. Do you remember the first time we met? You have a memory of that?
Was it not Singapore?
It was. Yeah. So I came for your play Piya Berupiya, and I had a friend who was working with you at that time, Mantra.
At the Esplanade.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
at the Esplanade. And me and Mantra caught up. And I'm like, what a wonderful place. Acha, ruko, I will introduce you to Atul. And then there comes this man, and he's so calm. And, he just had a full run of the show of 15, people. But it was a big cast as well. I don't know how many people were there in the play. And then you came backstage and you met me. And then you're like, I said, very nice play. And he said, yeah, okay. And then you were, of course, preoccupied. But you said, Mehak, it is, he made sure that he made me feel very nice. Initially, I thought it was that wall I couldn't pass through. But then you said, oh, it is really nice meeting you. Even with so many people there, you made me feel very comfortable. So, I think that was a great meeting.
Thank you.
And then we spoke on the phone. We hung out in Singapore when you came for trivial disasters. That happened. So
I remember going out to eat after Trivial Disasters with you, with the whole team.
yes,
Am I right?
we went to Clarky.
You had taken us somewhere to eat. Yes.
Yeah, that was. I remember Kalki wanted to eat at a Japanese restaurant, so we all went there. But it was great working with you, and after so many years, we've connected again.
Yes, and thank you very much for inviting me to your show.
Been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.